It is about you. You are the selling point, and the landscape is changing. So be your authentic self because no one wants to go to work being miserable all day. Look at your own resume, look at your own LinkedIn, and look at your impact and what you have provided for that other company. And if you write things in that context, you're going to talk to the next employer.
In my opinion, it's about giving the customer what they really want and just blowing their mind once they get it. And that's what I really love to see, honestly.
Get people to do more of home cooking, home cooked meals, healthy meals, so we can all live long and happy.
I'm very proud to be a mom because not for nothing, women are amazing.
Oh my God, the sacrifice, and how we make it look so easy.
I was just telling Joanne before we got on the call, I said I had to run from my daughter's school. They had an Easter egg hunt. I said, all right, Mom, I gotta go to work. But you know, just as moms, we make it happen. You know, supernatural abilities. We are the example for them, you know, and I know that with them being a better version of us.
You have to try. You never know how creative you are until you try. Because I didn't think I was creative. I found my creative side during a horrible time in my life.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Happy Thursday. It is the fun and ecstatic and exhilarating and loving. I'm trying to find more words, but it's Thursday, y'all. It's almost the holiday. What did they say? The prequel to Friday. So we hope that you are getting yourself ready for the weekend. We are thankful. We hope that you had a great short weekend with Indigenous Day on Monday. I hope that's what you celebrated and not that other holiday. But anyway, welcome. My name is Athenia Rodney, CEO and founder of Juneteenth NYC. I have, just to tell you a little bit about myself, I have over 25 years of experience doing logistics. I have excelled in organizing successful, impactful Juneteenth events over the last 15 plus years. My expertise lies in vendor coordination, operational efficiency, and building strong community partnerships to drive economic growth for Black-owned businesses, for us, for our people. I've done that by leveraging marketing skills. I help organizations optimize budgets, enhance attendee engagement, and create meaningful experiences like this one that honor the legacy of Juneteenth in everything that we do, leaving a lasting impact on our community, because at the end of the day, it's about elevating our community. So today is our Lunch and Learn Thursday, and we are excited to introduce Devri Goins, a dedicated poll worker with over a decade of experience serving our community. Devri has been an essential part of the election process, holding various positions with the Board of Elections to ensure that voting runs smoothly and efficiently, which is very important, especially in this very important election that we have coming up, to make sure that things are in order and that there is not chaos. That is such an important task. In today's session, Working the Polls, a guide to election day roles, Devri will share her insights into the critical work of poll workers. I know a lot of you might go and be like, oh, I wonder what that is. I wonder what they do. So as we are moving through our October month and really talking about voting and what voting means to us and how to get more involved in different ways, we wanted to bring different perspectives to you. So this is one of them. So I'd like to welcome Devri Goins to the stage. Hello, how you doing?
Thank you for having me. My name is Devri Goins. I am fine. I am a state worker. I've been working going on it's going to be 20 years next month. And I did various roles in my capacity. I did the window, I do customer service, I help with the litigants, I do data entry. And I have 3 children. I have 2 girls and a boy. One is 37, one is 30, and my soon-to-be daughter, she's going to be 18. And I'm just glad to be here today.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for that brief introduction about yourself and all of the things that you have been involved in thus far. So, as our topic today is working the polls, a guide to election day roles, can you share a little bit about what inspired you to become a poll worker and how did you get started? How did you go about being a part of that process?
Okay, I've been doing a poll worker since I was at a very young age, like I guess probably in my 20s or maybe before then. And I'm sorry.
No, it's
Um,
okay.
it's just that I did various roles. I started just people do things because it was the monetary things, but it wasn't just monetary with me. It was just I just continued doing the board of elections all these years, and hopefully they call me for this year because they need all the people they can get because this is
Most
a very crucial election. Everybody needs to get out there and vote.
Most definitely. So, Devri, how did you get started? So, like, what's the process? If I'm interested in being a poll worker, what should I do?
Well, you could go and fill out an application and say that you and ask to be a poll worker, and they will get back to you. And then it's a training that everybody has to do a training every year because the cycle is from July to July. So you always have to attend a class, and the reason you have to attend a class is because they have new rules every year, and every year is something different. And being with the new computers and everything like that, and everything's electronic now, so you have to learn every year.
Awesome.
So the process is that once you fill out the application, they're gonna call you, and then if they interested in you after you take the class, they'll call you and ask you to be a poll worker.
Got it. Okay. That is interesting. Can you tell us do you know what the different positions are for poll workers?
Yes, I've done different positions. I did the BMD machine. I did the table. I did the door clerk. I did the accessory clerk. Sometimes I'd be the chairperson of the table.
So can you break down for those of us who are not familiar, what is a BMD machine?
Okay, the first you asked me what do we do, how to start the process in
No,
voting.
I said what is a BMD machine?
Oh, the BMD machine is a ballot marking device that you don't have to mark you can use that machine to mark the ballot. It's not gonna take your vote, but you can have your ballot marked. Like you could go in and pick your selections, and then it marks the ballot, and then you could just take it to the scanner.
Got it. So this is basically, I guess, to replace the us penciling it in the bubbles and stuff like that. Now we go to a machine
The paper,
and
right, with the
to
pencil,
do it.
bubble it in. I mean, we still have that.
Okay, so that the option is that for people with
Yes,
disabilities.
besides doing the bubbling, you could do either or. You could do you could do the machine, or you can mark it. They still
Got
have
it.
both.
Got it. Okay. And then what is the talk
But
to
for
us
people
about?
that like with small print or
No,
I'm
it seems like
sorry.
we're getting a little delay. No worries. I know technology, when it's good, and when it's not, it's not. So,
Right, because sometimes we do have incidents when the machine break down, and but we always have to have one machine that works. So even though another machine might break down, a machine is always working. So there is no backlog or no detaining in the person to vote. They could still vote.
got it. So the BMD is the machine, the ballot marking device machine that allows people to put their sheet in and for it to mark who they want to vote for, so that they can choose to do it with
And
pencil
it
them.
also helps people. It also helps people with disabilities, like with the sip and puff, or if you have any issues as far as disabilities and stuff, you can use the BMD machine
Nice. Well,
because
I'm
it's the
glad
sip
that.
and puff, it's the headphones, it's the
Mhm.
people with wheelchairs. They could come in, and use the BMD machine.
Got it. So I'm glad that the voter registration has done more to pay more attention to people with disabilities. I know one of our volunteers for Juneteenth was just highlighted on Channel 2 News, talking about this very thing, about how they've been able to help to make it more user friendly for different people. My next question, you talked about, we lost you. I'll read some of the comments that we have. So welcome to those who are joining us. Thank you. Feel free to drop in the chat where you are hailing from. We always like to hear and know where all our guests are joining us from. So what borough, what community is all helpful. So I know there was some messages. Tracy said, very informative. I've never heard of the BMD machine. Oh, wow. Yeah. I feel like it is definitely a new machine. I know I used to do the polls a little while ago myself. So I know that when working with that was a new machine that came out, I want to say maybe about 4 years ago or so. But I know every year there's been a new machine that is being put into the market to help make the process go faster, and for counting to be more efficient and to have less errors. So I'm excited for them for that. And it looks like Devri lost contact for now. But I will continue to talk a little bit about some of the other voting opportunities that are available. I know early voting has started in a number of different locations. I'm down here in Georgia. I know it started for us on today is Thursday, on Tuesday. And I think we also had Trump had joined us here in Georgia to try to get to do some presentations or something like that. So it was holding up all kinds of traffic. But if you are able to go out and do early vote, we definitely encourage you to. Early vote allows you the opportunity to take more time. It allows you, because that day when the voter registration day, I know lines have been as long as 8 hours long. And if you get off the line, they make you get back to like start at the back. They are very strict on that day as far as how things go. I know they've also been trying to do a very big effort to make it more friendly, so that more people can have activities going on. So they have tables that are outside, things for kids to do. They even have DJs that they've been bringing on around all around the United States at the polls to have DJs present. So that is definitely something else that I know they have been trying to do to keep the momentum going so that people are able to be in that space. So I think Devri is ready to come back. If you are.
Oh,
Well,
yes, I'm here.
there we go. Hello. So we was just talking about just keeping people engaged during the voting day, because I know this year they put a lot of effort in trying to keep things to go a lot smoother and to also keep people engaged because they expect long lines. So I was encouraging people, if they can, to go to early vote because it will make their life easier. And their vote and early vote does count. So I do want to jump back in with you. We were talking about the BMD. I do want to learn about some of your challenges. What have been challenges you've faced as a worker, either with scanners or voter check-in table, and how did you handle them? Were you able to hear me, Devri?
No, what you said?
Oh, okay. I said, what were some of the challenges that you faced working at the scanner or the voter check-in table, and how did you handle them?
Affordable healthcare is essential, and so are you. Affordable healthcare is $0 monthly premiums and no deductible. Coverage for sick visits, tests, prescription drugs, hospital care, as well as free dental and vision coverage. Affordable healthcare is the Essential Plan. More New Yorkers than ever are now eligible for the Essential Plan. Apply today at nystateofhealth.ny.gov.
All right. Hello, everyone. We are back. I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties. We are trying to work through them. But in the meantime, I do want to share some information just about voting and again, getting people out to vote. One of the questions that we like to ask is what are some of the basic requirements for someone to register to vote? I would like to hear from the audience to see how much you all know as well. And we have Tracy, who says she was from the Bronx District 12. I like that you know everything, know your district and everything. That is dope because a lot of us don't know. And we be scrambling, looking the day of, trying to find out all of the details. But I'm thankful for the process and them allowing us to have the tables, the scanner tables. So that's what the tables, once you go in. So from my recollection, when you go into the space, you have your front table. That's where you're able to get your assignment. So you'll know your district and your area where you need to vote, so that you're properly voting for the right people. You'll take usually a piece of paper, you'll go to that table, and then they'll check your information. So they'll usually check some states, so from what I understand, it's illegal for them to check ID in certain states, but in others, that is a requirement. So definitely check with your local voter registration on what the requirements are for your area. But when you go, they'll look for your name on the list. They'll match up your signature. They'll ask you to sign, and then they'll give you a voter ballot. Take your voter ballot to either one of the stations, the BMD station, or just a shielded station, so that you can go through and you can figure out who you're voting for. I always suggest to go and check before to find out who you're going to be voting for, because you're not allowed to use your phone when you get there at all. So I know in the past, I've probably tried to try to search up and try to do some research on some of the people because I'm just not aware. But definitely try to, and I think it's canivote.org. You can go on there. It'll give you information of once you find out where you're able to vote, it'll also give you who's going to be on a ballot for your specific area. And if there are anything for your community that you need to vote on, like any taxes that need to be added or a new law, a new program that they're trying to institute, all of those things will be on there. And as Angus shared a couple of weeks ago, make sure that you always check the back of the ballot, because there's usually questions on the front and there's also questions on the back. So to make sure that you are answering all of the questions. A lot of times the full ballot is not completed. And once you've submitted it, you cannot go back and submit a new one. So definitely make sure you go and do that. Once you've completed filling out all of your questions and answering them, you'll then take that paper in a closed folder so that no one could see it over to the machine. I forget what the name of the machine is, but basically it's the counting machine. And then you will put your paper into the counting machine and you will see the number change. It should go up. So make sure that the number goes up. So if it says 175, once you put your paper in, it should say 176. And then that's when you know that you've completed. I would then go to the front area, get my sticker that I voted, yay, and then continue on with your day. So, but a lot of the work does need to happen before you go into the voter station so that you are aware of what's going to be on the ballot so that you can make that process quick and fast as you go into the space. So not sure if Devri is back or not. And if not, okay.
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm having such a bad connection.
No worries. I see you trying to make it happen, and I appreciate that. We appreciate that. So thank you for that. Can you hear me okay now?
Yes, I hear you now.
Okay, awesome. So one of the questions that I was asking is, have you had any challenges while you were working the scanner or vote-in check-in tables, and how did you handle them?
Oh yes, I do be having some encounters because sometimes people don't have all their information. Sometimes um they not on the list, and it's only because if they haven't voted since the last election, then they might not be in the book, and then they could get agitated, and then we have to send them to the board, or we have to do a challenge and all of that so they can vote, because sometimes they have to fill out an absentee ballot, and sometimes they don't be wanting to do that because they be like, well, I'm in the book or I'm in the computer. And then but if you don't vote and within a certain amount of time, they either relocate you or they take your information out.
So what do you suggest to people who might be in that situation to prepare beforehand?
Okay, if beforehand they could make sure, because everybody gets sent a little book or the little pass now because it's automatic now. So all you doing is scanning. When you come to vote, they're gonna give you a pass to scan. So if you don't receive anything by like maybe the end of November, or by the end of October before the early voting, then they should go to the board and see if all their information is correct. Because sometimes they could move, sometimes the person could be deceased, but we won't know that information unless they go to the board to change that information, and we'll give them a new voter registration form to fill out.
Got it. So thank you for sharing that information. I think that's very helpful for a lot of people who are not clear, and just to help them to prepare so that they're not running into that situation. Can you also share what are basic requirements for someone to register to vote?
Okay, the basic requirements is that you got to be over the age of 18. You got to have your residence where you live at, and just confirmation of where you live. You really don't need that much of a qualification. I mean, you don't need that much um, paperwork to register. You just got to be make sure that you can register where you live at in the right county or the right district, because they go by assembly district. So sometimes, even though we live in the same district, you could be across the street. I could be on this side. My zip code could be 10460. Their zip code could be 10459, and that's how they determine where you vote at.
Makes sense. Both makes sense. How can individuals help others in their community become more aware of voter registration?
Okay, the way that we can help people do to be aware, we had a lot of programs this summer that I have seen when I went to a lot of community events. They had a lot of voter registration drives to get people to vote, because this this election is very crucial, and we need everybody to exercise their rights. So they had a lot of organizations that did voter registration drives.
Do you know, is New York, have we completed the last day of registration?
I think so, or it's coming up, because I think it's this month. But everybody has to be at least voted by the early voting, because we start our early voting October 26th.
Okay, so it's October 26th. So I'm in Georgia, and they started on Tuesday. They started early vote.
Right.
So I was sharing while you were out that a number of different states have different rules,
Yeah.
and to definitely make sure that you are understanding what the rules are in your area, so that
That's why
you
we
can
got to go
be
to a class. Yep.
Mhm.
That's why
Most
we go to a
definitely.
class every year, because they do have new rules. Because and the new rules is that they change a lot when it comes to how people come in to vote. Even for us, how we take people information. We're not supposed to ask for people IDs, unless it says on that ballot that you have to show ID. Other than that, we are not supposed to ask for no IDs. If you got that pass, you bring that pass, scan it, and that's it. Your information should come up, because now what you do is, because you said 4 years ago, so I know we probably had the computer 4 years ago, that you put the last name, first name of that person,
Mhm.
and their information just come right up.
Yeah, I know that. I love the fact that the computers are there now, because it definitely helps with voter registration errors, and being able to find things a lot faster and move the process along. I know because this is a presidential election, the lines are expected to be extremely long. Can you share some ways or some suggestions of how people can weather the storm as they're waiting to go in to vote?
Okay, I'm a poll worker, and I start at 5 o'clock in the morning. So if people is going to work from like 9 to 5, they should come. Well, vote this year is Voters Day, so we are all closed. Well, I'm closed, and we should all be closed. So people should get out at least by 6 o'clock in the morning, because that's when we start, and that's probably going to be the slow process. And usually between 9 and 12 is slow, but then after like 3 o'clock, or after when people get off work and stuff, that's when it gets crowded. And how we monitor the lines is that everybody supposed to make sure that the person is online, and try to keep it orderly. And if we see if I'm at the table, or if I'm at a scanner, and if I'm not busy, I will go to the other line and say, oh, do you need help, and 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 stuff like that.
Got it. So I like that you said that. So you said the time frame that is basically the best time is the morning. So that before 12 o'clock
Right
time frame
between
is
six,
usually
right, because after 5 o'clock, because after 5 o'clock it usually get busy, but being that that's, like I said, it's not a working day, but it's the president's election, so it still could get busy. But this is going to be, if I go to the same location, this is going to be the first time that I'm working the president election, because I worked a couple of elections already, and it has not been busy, because people, even though that it's not the president, people do not exercise their right. And then when like they said, when the people get into office, we all know it's politics, and they talk a good game, but then you have to vote, because whatever happens, and then we could be stuck.
very
But I have to
true.
be.
And we have been stuck with a lot of people that shouldn't have been in office because we did
Right.
not go out and vote and make the decision. Last week, 2 weeks ago, we had Angus join to talk about just the different levels of being able to vote, and the different levels of community activism and engagement,
Right.
from
Yeah.
community boards all the way down to your tenant associations that you can be a part of. All of these areas are spaces where we have access to be able to vote. So you're right. We have to go out and vote. What would you say to someone who is kind of on the fence and feels like their vote doesn't matter?
Right. And I do a lot of community events, and like he said about the tenant association, like I'm trying to join the community board, but like he said, when I go to all the meetings, like I have to start going to the community board meetings, because I goes to meetings, but it's like not the community board, because I didn't get picked, because but like he said, you have to wait 2 years to get voted. So maybe that's why they didn't pick me, is because it hasn't been 2 years that I applied. I don't know, whatever the case may be, but I'm in the Bronx, and he's in Brooklyn, and he's right, because in my neighborhood I would like to like do a tenant association, because in my neighborhood there's nothing there. Like we live in a boom. I mean, not in a. We live in a back alley. Like there's nothing there. Like it's my building, then it's the building across the street. So if we could get those two buildings to merge, and try to have something, because like a lot of these communities, they don't have anything. Like I goes all over. I mean, I goes to Manhattan. It doesn't matter if I'm free. And before I started working on overtime, I goes to every community event there is.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you and everything that you have done and continue to do. We are coming to the end. So I have a couple of last questions for you. First and foremost, what do you want the community to take away from today's session?
Huh?
What do you want the community to take away from today's session?
I just want them to take away that to exercise their right, and I hope that I was able to provide some information to help someone.
Got it. And then with the 2024 election approaching, why is it absolutely crucial for every eligible citizen to vote?
Because all of our votes count, and it's going to be a very close election, so everybody should get out there and vote,
Definitely.
because
And then
it's
the
going to be
last
it's close now. And if these people is not monitoring the election right now, it's gonna be sorry to say, I don't want to say anything, but if people, it's gonna be an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, yeah, definitely agree. And then last question, what does Juneteenth mean to you?
Juneteenth means a whole lot to me because I learned about Juneteenth in my church with one of um my mother's in the church, and she taught us about Juneteenth, about the slavery, and that's when I really first heard about it. But then when I saw your app and to apply, I said, let me just give it a try because I would like to help my community, help your organization, and try to provide the best try to be provide all the things that I can provide to your organization.
Yes, and we are very thankful. Devria is a part of our advisory board, and we are thankful for the many individuals who make up our board, who help our events to be the success that it is, and to have it come to fruition so that we are able to, as I shared from the beginning, create an impactful community um, advertisement so that we can change the narrative that is told about our community. So thank you very much, Devri. It was a
Not a
pleasure having
problem.
you
Thank you.
on with us on today. We look forward to having you back at some time where we
Thank
can
you.
discuss how things went for for voting. So definitely enjoy the rest of your day
You
and good
too.
luck for
Thank you.
the voting time.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay. Enjoy
Um,
the rest of your day.
I will. Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
So bye. So I am going to close us up. And really thankful for the time with Devri. I know it's going in and out, and we thank you so much for your patience, everyone. Like I said, technology, it works when it works, and sometimes it does not work. And that is some of the downfall that we have to unfortunately deal with. But we will shock and jive and move how we need to, however is best. As always, we want to talk to you about what we have coming up this weekend. We are really excited. Juneteenth NYC will be partnering with Pink Carpet Fashion and Talent Show at the Major Owen Center. If you have not gotten your tickets yet, we hope for you to go and purchase your tickets. It is going to be an amazing time. As you see, October is Pink Month. It is about cancer and just talking about where and how cancers have affected us in our communities in particular, and more specifically here, how it has affected our children. Last year with the organization, there was a child that was there who had cancer, and gratefully they were able to participate and enjoy the time. And a couple of weeks later, they passed away. But at least they had this opportunity to have fun, to see themselves in a better light, and they put that energy together so that they can be present. So just know that things that we are doing are really are working. They're helping people. And even if you're not able to attend, please buy a ticket, pay it forward, buy a ticket for someone else to be in the room. All the funds and the proceeds go towards putting the event together. And any leftover profit donations go to families who have children who are suffering with cancer. So that event will be the 19th. It will go from 2 to 5 p.m. Tickets are only $25. There are light appetizers and things of that nature that are there. And it will be a great time. So we really encourage you to come out. There will be full different styles of designs. It will be a talent show. There'll be some raffles, things for you to get up to be a part of. So we really, really encourage you to join. And we can drop the registration link in the chat so that you can register for that. Next up, I have a couple of speaking engagements that'll be coming up that I'll share with you on next week. But we've really been pushing the idea of how to expand your business. A lot of people go into business to be entrepreneurs, and they do not know how to, like, they think that it's all glory, right? They don't hear about all of the late nights, the extra work, the sleepless nights, like, that go into being a business owner, because you are everything in your business. You're the person who's doing your social media, your marketing, you're working the business, you're managing staff, you're managing schedule, checking emails, making phone calls. You're doing all of it, the whole shebang. And one of the things that I have has been pressed upon my heart is how to help us to be better in that space. Juneteenth NYC, it is a monster of an organization. It has so many different parts to it, and I cannot do it at all by myself. I have an amazing team that is there to help me, but in order to have an amazing team there to help, you have to have tools, systems in place to also help them so that they can do their job better. So one of the things that we do is we do an analyzation of your business to get understanding of where some of your challenges are. We will help you to find ways to expand your business, whether that means helping you to create a standard operations procedure so that you can pass the work along to someone else, whether that means helping you to create programs and systemizations so that you can make your business a little bit more efficient, or whether that means where you can get a virtual assistant to help you to do the work so that you can have some time to yourself. So if you are interested in any of those things, please go to our website and do and sign up for a free consultation. We would love to meet with you. We are not meeting with a number of people. Once we have our full caseload, we will be closed, especially for the rest of the year. So I appreciate you all. Please follow us on Instagram, Juneteenth NY. Please like us on YouTube. We really appreciate that. Like and follow us on YouTube so that we can continue to do what we do and to give you this great service that we are offering. Thank you so much again for joining us today on our Lunch and Learn. We hope you found it as informative and uplifting as we did offering it to you. Don't forget to mark your calendars for next week's session. Same time, same bat channel. Also be sure to visit our website, JuneteenthNY.com. There's always new information being posted on there, new events that we're working on, or something that you might want to get involved in. So we definitely hoping that you will join us on our site, and let's keep this incredible conversation going to keeping in touch on our socials. So for that, have a great Thursday, everyone, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.